Hello and welcome to AI with Lina. As knowledge workers, we must sift through and comprehend loads of text. We spend several hours daily reading long emails, newsletters, articles, and reports. Often, we also create takeaway summaries from this content as we incorporate it into our own content or share it with our colleagues and online connections. The whole process is time-consuming and leaves us overwhelmed with information. What if there was a world where we could perform all these tasks quickly and with minimum effort? Today, we are going to get very practical. I will show you how to use ChatGPT to save time and reduce the cognitive overload from all this content that reaches your email or social media feeds. ChatGPT can summarize long pieces of text. Summarization is not a new task for AI though. What is remarkable about ChatGPT is that it can successfully process longer pieces of text in one shot than any previous model. This results in higher quality summaries and increases the likelihood that the model maintains the necessary information from the original text. In addition, the model can support different formats for the output summary. So, for this demo, let's assume that you have a newsletter. In addition to promoting your content, you also share interesting articles targeting business school students. You decided to write a summary for this article. You need to spend 13 minutes to read the article and at least 30 more minutes to write the summary. You've got a few options for feeding the article's content to ChatGPT. You can use the article's web link, copy-paste the entire body, or use OpenAI's programming API. Let's explore the first two options for now. Summarize this article. As you can see, the model generates a few paragraphs with the key points from the article. I must warn you about two risks with this approach. The first one is that this feature is unstable. When testing it, sometimes I get a summary and some other times an error message. The second risk is that I cannot be sure that the model is indeed processing the whole article, which adds an extra layer of uncertainty. The safest option is to copy-paste the whole body of the text and prompt the model to summarize it. Alternatively, you can do the same and just add TLDR at the beginning or end of the text. As you see again, we get a paragraph with a brief summary. One thing to note is that the generated summaries maintain the style and vocabulary of the original content. Suppose this is not entirely appropriate for your scenario. In that case, you can prompt the model and modify the text to optimize for your audience. Let's modify now our prompt and ask the model to summarize for business school students, since this is the audience of our hypothetical newsletter. As you can see, the output now is optimized to appeal to business school students because this was part of our prompt. One of the features I find really helpful is that you can modify the output content and optimize for different formats. For example, you can summarize in bullet point format. You can ask to extract information and present it as a table. Finally, let's assume you want to share the article on social media. You can ask ChatGPT to identify the best keywords to use as hashtags. Quite impressive, isn't it? Of course, there are some caveats when using generative AI and ChatGPT. The model attempts to detect the most essential part of a body of text and generate new language that summarizes them. The model may skip important information or add new content that is not present in the original article. Because of these limitations, consider whether someone needs to confirm the content before publishing when using ChatGPT or similar models. I chose the example of the newsletter as a non-critical application where there is no single correct answer for what points to include in the summary. We can limit some of those issues by modifying the prompts and asking the model to emphasize specific keywords, topics, or phrases. In this example, we can modify the prompt and ask the model to summarize the article while maintaining all Bill Gates quotes. And here we see that the model has maintained the quotes and clearly indicated them within quotation marks. I hope you found the video helpful. It is part of a series in which I introduce practical applications for leveraging ChatGPT to achieve specific business outcomes, whether you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or product manager. In the previous video, we discussed high-level principles and some necessary technical context for understanding the possibilities and limitations of generative AI and ChatGPT specifically. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend you check out the link in the description below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and questions. Subscribe to stay tuned for more AI with Lina.